This is the MG4 we've been waiting for, the XPower. Suddenly I'm 7 years old and I'm launching a Battlestar Galactica Viper. It even looks a bit Starfighter. Welcome to the garage. Subscribe to see the first drives of New Zealand's newest and best cars driven on New Zealand roads in New Zealand conditions. 3 months ago, we drove the MG4 and we liked it. You can click on the link to watch that review and you will see us even back then talking about this version. So sure-footed. Okay, I wouldn't say it's frisky. That'll be the XPower version. After driving this, I can't wait to drive that. So frisky has arrived, and I've got to be honest, on first look, it doesn't exactly shout hot rod. It just looks like the MG4. This really is the ultimate exercise in self-restraint. All the changes are low-key and low down, right below that bumper line. Some subtle trim updates front and rear and along the side. But aside from those 18-inch wheels and those McLaren-looking brake calipers, there's nothing to give the game away. But really, there's no visible aggressiveness over the MG4, certainly nothing to indicate the massive performance hike over the MG4 Essence. Inside is the same. Aside from the red stitching and Alcantara, this is pretty much line ball with the Essence model we drove. The upside is that means you get the same 15-feature MG Pilot safety suite. What a list! There's lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning. The list goes on. Traffic jam assist, intelligent headlamp assist, speed assistance system, and unsteady driving warning. Yes, there's also 360 parking cameras, heated steering wheel and seats, and wireless charging. And on the XPower, one more, one pedal drive. But there's more of the same 363-litre boot or 1177 with the seats flat. It also gets the standard Essence battery, not the long-range unit. It's fast charging, 64 kilowatt hours. Now that means in XPower you get WLTP range of 400 kilometres. I can tell you right now, I'm getting nowhere near that sort of range. I can't help myself. The throttle pedal, make that the hyperspace button. Man, this thing takes off like the Tower of Terror. Man, it's such a giggle. This is what the first muscle cars must have felt like back in the 60s. Minus, of course, that magic V8 rumble. But I know they say that about the electrics, you haven't got the sound, the vibration, but you know what? That turbine whine is actually pretty cool. Sci-fi and just visceral enough. It goes like a rocket, but there's, well, no rocket science at play. MG have achieved the new bang for buck standard setter in good old muscle car style. But instead of adding cubic inches, they've added a second 150 kilowatt electric motor to the front axle and boosted the rear motor to 170 kilowatts. Well, the math is simple. 320 kilowatts, that's 429 horsepower, 600 newtons. And the headline grabber, 0 to 100 in 3.8 seconds. You can't feel what I just felt, no matter what stupid look I put on my face. But 3.8 seconds is seriously quick for any car. And I know these drive films are full of numbers, but it is really quick. Look, here's a comparison with some seriously quick cars to give you an idea of just how quick this MG4 XPower actually is. Take the Nissan Z, it's quick, 0 to 100, 4.6 seconds. Up the ante, Lotus Emira V6, 4.2 seconds. Porsche 911 Carrera 2, $261,000 worth, also 4.2 seconds. Even the Aston Martin V8 Vantage, 3.9 seconds. So you see, MG are not overstepping the mark when they say supercar-like acceleration. It really is. Now what's even more astounding is the price. This is under $70,000. the bang for buck is already ridiculous. Then you factor in that clean car rebate, which is still in play right now. We're talking sub $63,000. All that performance and a 7-year warranty. Of course, MG have done more than just amp things up. The suspension has been stiffened by 25%, roll bars are uprated, and the steering has been recalibrated. There's also bigger brakes, torque vectoring, and there's an electronic limited slip diff on the back axle, along with improved chassis control systems. So the XPower is a legitimate GT version of the MG4, and here's the thing, it can humble any hot hatch off the line. How's this for a number? 0 to 50 kilometers an hour, 1.7 seconds. But I will stop short of saying it drives like a supercar or even a hyper hatch. It's just not quite that involving, not quite up there with the likes of an Audi RS3 or a Golf R. Especially today with the roads being a little bit wet, despite the stiffer suspension, firmer roll bars, it just isn't quite as involving. The steering's still short of feel, and the uprated tyres are still more about reducing rolling resistance than sticking to the tarmac. The roll bars are stiffer, but it still doesn't corner flat like a hot hatch. Look, it's got the speed, there's no disputing that. It's just that level of engagement you get in the best hot hatches in sports cars. But really, what are you after? A backroad blaster or a car loaded with safety features that can beat anything away from the lights? Because if that's what you're after, the MG4 XPower is the best performance bargain yet.